got to get rid of drugs and gangs and people. It's an invasion. We have an invasion of drugs and criminals coming into our country that we stop, but it's very hard to stop. With a wall, it would be very easy. So,
President Trump's wall along the U.S.-Mexican border would be a series of fences and walls that would cost as much as $21.6 billion, based on the U.S. Department of Homeland Security internal report, as seen by Reuters December 21st, 2018. Depending on the ultimate size of the wall, it could cost up to $25 million per mile and take years to build. Calls from the White House for $5.7 billion would cover about 230 miles, or about 11.5% of the southern border's distance. Trump has repeatedly threatened to shut down the border and then backed off that threat and won a court decision over a policy that forced people seeking asylum to remain in Mexico.
There are thousands of people who have a legal right to seek asylum in the United States, and those people would be turned away. And he's turning them away now as we speak.
He also officially moved to cut off foreign aid to Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras because their residents are seeking refuge in the United States. He wants to depict border communities as dangerous, lawless places filled with a sense of chaos, drug dealers, and gangs. I'm Mark Sanchez Correa. My father immigrated from Guatemala, and like millions of other immigrants in America, he was just trying and seeking a better life. But to hear from the Trump Organization, there's chaos at the border. There's an invasion of drug dealers, an invasion of migrants who are rapists. Well, I went down to the border to see for myself. We went along the California-Mexican border and saw what the border communities are really like and who these people are. Tijuana, the contrast between the border sides was stark. The United States has security cameras, barbed wire, signs to stop you from getting close to the wall, border patrol officers watching an empty beach. The Mexican side has families playing in the waves, vendors hawking their wares, and tourists gazing to the very colorful painted wall. So where is the crisis? Not far away. A small, dark shelter houses men waiting to cross the border. This shelter, run by the Border Angels, is a symptom of the problem, but there are volunteers helping to ease the pain.
Our mission is, we believe that everybody should be treated with dignity and respect, that love has no borders. Our focus is the migrant community. Migrants travel all over the world, and we believe that they have a right to be traveling, looking for refuge. And we say, if I was hungry, did you give me to eat? If I was thirsty, did you give me to drink? We're not a religious group or a faith-based group, and we have over 5,000 volunteers.
In 1986, Morones founded the Border Angels, a nonprofit organization dedicated to the prevention of migrants' deaths on the U.S.-Mexican border.
There's thousands of people that have been coming that are going to be trying to cross. They have a list that they put together, and they themselves, the migrants, and there's several thousand people on that list. And instead of having hundreds of people go and report to the port of entry, they're limited it to about 20 people a day. So it takes forever. It takes forever for these people that have been traveling thousands of miles from Central America. Many get desperate, and they decide to try to jump over the wall or cross in another manner. We strongly recommend they do not do that. It's very dangerous. So what happens is the people get desperate, they try to cross in the desert, and even though a lot less people are crossing, people still die.
In an unmarked dirt lot at the end of Terrace Park Cemetery, 2 hours east of San Diego, lie the remains of hundreds of unidentified migrants. Most of these people died alone in the Imperial Valley Desert or mountains, likely attempting to illegally cross the U.S.-Mexican border. Some drowned in irrigation canals, others died of thirst or exposure to extreme heat. Well, we just came across this emergency water station where we're in the middle of the desert. People have put in these 1-gallon water supplies for immigrants when they need water when they're coming across this wide open desert.
One of the things the Border Angels is best known for is putting water in the desert. And we have thousands of volunteers that go out there. We have people that join us from all over. We have a large group from the Bay Area, for example, that joins us.
Nuevo High School in San Mateo launched a field trip to the border to gain first-hand knowledge about issues surrounding immigration. And so what are the kids getting out of this, you think?
An experience that you just can't get from a textbook or from seeing a documentary, hearing the personal stories of those people who've made the journey, have chosen to leave their country out of necessity, getting to know people, hearing the human side of the story. So it's a very emotional trip. This is the third time I've done it, and it doesn't matter how many times I come, it's still challenging to hear the stories. It's a unique experience. I think that being able to come out here and live it puts the immigrant experience in perspective for students. And actually being here, seeing what the geography looks like, the challenges that they face, puts it into perspective for students and allows them to connect and understand in a way that you can't get within a classroom.
We are hiking with like a comparable amount of weight and supplies and stuff that immigrants coming through this area would be bringing, and so to have that experience of like having walked like, I don't know, 200 yards from here to where our car was, like that's pretty difficult. Like, and I've got like thorns all over my shoes and stuff, and like so to see like kind of the reality of that is pretty impactful, I guess.
And then someone got like a cactus spike in their
Right, somebody
foot.
like within the first 10 minutes had a cactus spike.
10 minutes in daylight, so
Right.
to think that people are like doing this walk in the dark and probably get more cactus things in their foot, like how do they make that?
So we found these zapatos, homemade shoes that the immigrants wear to hide their footprints in the sand. So we know they're here, and so the people dropped water here.
Oh, the kids are really excited to participate in some kind of action, and so they're really excited to be helping in some way, as well as learning more about the different aspects of what's causing these big issues with so many migrants coming.
Next to the wall in Jacumba, about 2 hours east of San Diego, choppers, the army, agents everywhere, the atmosphere was tense along the border. Within an hour, we witnessed 2 men being arrested by the Border Patrol.
Imagine about the U.S. just processed around 200 of them weekly, so the waiting period from 1 day to have an asylum appointment increases to an average of right now there's an average of 3 months. You have to wait for 3 months to be seen by U.S. immigration authorities.
We visited Mexicali and came upon this shelter supported by the Mexican government.
Honduras, Guatemala spend 2 months, 1 month train. They risk their lives. They want asylum to USA. They are waiting. Maybe they wanna pay coyote, but no. That is too dangerous.
How many people do you have here now?
Right now we have 320.
Is that a lot? Is that a little amount?
Well, right now as we've been working, it's okay because we had 520 like 2 weeks before.
How's the food supply?
We're short.
You're short?
Yes, a lot short, yes. We only eating twice a day. Like, food, there is always food. Like, this is for, to make harina, tortillas. This is to make, But, food, there are, too much food here. Mexico, Mexico, support them.
So if you want something, what would you want?
Me?
And the group?
They?
Yeah.
What do they want?
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to go USA.
We followed the Border Angels to shelters in Tijuana. There, they delivered food, hygiene products, books, and toys for the children.
You don't really have to go far to do community service. We're right next to Mexico, so we do these trips down doing the Caravan of Love like twice a month.
Can you tell me what this means to your shelter?
What this means?
Yeah.
It's a lot of joy for my people because they know about the love. Thanks to you, thanks to the only people who give us food and time. The best we have is the time. When we share our time, it's wonderful. So thanks God and thanks to you. My people is happy. Today is a blessing day. Thank you.
¿Cómo te sientes por qué te fuiste de Guerrero para ir?
Por problemas, delincuencia y mucho, ¿cómo le diré? Narco, mucha guerra y
¿Cómo te sientes como mamá vivir en esas situaciones?
Pues a mí me da mucho temor, mucho miedo por mis hijos, porque yo tengo 5 niños, entonces yo no quiero que el día de mañana les suceda algo. Secuestran niños, señoritas, mujeres, ama de casa, papás, entonces yo no quiero que ellos vivan en ese ambiente. Por eso venimos pidiendo el apoyo, la ayuda.
And so it goes. The people I met were seeking asylum, not criminal opportunities. Historically, the U.S. led the world in refugee resettlement. Well, that ended with the rise of the Trump administration, which has reduced the number of displaced persons the country will allow to accept to record lows. According to an analysis by the New American Economy, a bipartisan group advocating for immigration reform, the 10 cities that received the most refugees in the last 10 years saw drops in crime. That is hardly surprising, since these immigrants come to the U.S. seeking safety for their families and opportunities not available in their home countries. As a result, they have little to gain and much to lose by breaking the law. These migrants are fleeing violence and poverty. Will we shut the door on them? Or remember the words inscribed on the base of the Statue of Liberty? Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Is our current policy really responsive to the economic and social dilemmas which drives immigration in the first place? What do you think?